Hello, welcome to episode 13 of
Perils of the Warp.
This is Grimworks Productions 40K podcast. I, of course, am going to be, I guess, the host today, Commissar Silly Buns. I'm here accompanied with...
Yo, I'm John.
And...
Roman.
How you guys doing today?
All right. Some news has been dropped on us.
Oh.
I'm excited, but not too excited.
You're dead.
I'm like excited enough to be at half chub, but not like full hard throbbing, like, you know.
Cock.
Yeah, yesterday I had a full on fucking tent going on. Today a little less so. Thanks to some of the stuff that we've seen about the stuff coming out. You know, like I in my head it was like amazing. It's still cool. Not as amazing as I thought.
Okay.
So, you know, got a little half chub going.
And are we all talking about the box set that was leaked out?
Yeah, I think we're all talking about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't want to bring it up because there's probably a specific point in time
Well,
in this podcast where we'll talk about it. So
not really.
I didn't want to force the issue.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, like, we don't have a real big structure to this podcast. We don't have like this is what came out, and we just kind of jump wherever the fuck it goes.
Yeah.
Like, and now that it's bi-weekly, it's gonna get worse because we're gonna get more unorganized. And we were unorganized from month to month. Now we're unorganized from other week to another week.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're talking about ForgeBane. I think we're all.
Yeah, this was leaked last Sunday. Last Sunday?
Yeah.
It was last Sunday because I was at your place when we were doing the podcast
Yes.
for the regular city podcast, and I was going through Reddit, and then I saw
City Podcast?
City Podcast is our original terrible podcast. If you think we're terrible here, we're extra terrible there.
Imagine us plus a couple of other stupid people. And here the structure is that we're talking about Warhammer. On City, there's no structure whatsoever. You don't know what the fuck's going to come out of somebody's mouth on City.
So in the last comment for this one was like, guys, I listened to like 45 seconds. You'll start talking about bisexuals. I'm out of here. Now imagine that 45 seconds rushed within 5 seconds.
And then it's stretched out for an entire hour and a half.
So that's what that is. If you want to check it out, go for it. Check it out.
Yeah.
But last Sunday, I was at Roman's place going through Reddit, and I think it was DACA.com or something like that.
Yeah.
The
DACA forums?
Yeah, the DACA forums. They spoiled it. And I remember looking at Roman like, fuck, I need this so bad. And we even started trying to think who we could pair somebody up with to get the robots. Because at first you were a thought, but then I was like, John's going to want both of them. He's going to want both of them.
Yeah.
Well, we know Mikey. We were going to do Mikey. Rome tried to call shots on Mike. I'm like, too late. I already forwarded him the image.
Yeah,
already split in the box.
Yeah, so that's the whole thing is like...
Wait. You're splitting a box with Mikey?
Hell yeah.
No, I wanted to.
Oh, okay.
But it looks like I'm just going to have to buy a box for myself.
Yeah.
And then
Like nobody wants the Necron half of this box.
That's what I'm saying.
There's people that play Necrons that want the Cryptek. The rest of the Necron pieces in that box are fucking shit.
Yeah, I think they're already like, it's already like a starter box, right? You just get like an extra spider or whatever.
The only... I don't know how this game is gonna play. The box game itself, not counting actual Warhammer 4K tabletop. The only thing is that a lot of those models on the Necron side have a 3-up invulnerable save.
Okay.
Oh no. I think the guys with the shields actually went up to a 4-up invulnerable save. Because in 7th they were a 3. I think they're a 4-up now.
Okay.
So that's like the only thing they have going for them. It's like, oh, we're gonna get shot to all fucking hell by the AdMech. Maybe we'll survive. But as far as dealing damage back, it's not gonna be very pretty.
So you say Necron people are not very excited for this box?
No.
If it's not just for the fucking Cryptek.
Yeah. Like, I play Necrons. I have a good 3,000 or plus points of Necrons. And I have everything in that box except for the Cryptek. And several times over, and I don't need any more of any of it.
I suppose, yeah. And even that, like, half the stuff will be released later down the line. And that piece alone will probably be like $35.
Yeah, it'll be a $35 piece.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be 40.
Either way. I mean,
because you got Karn the Betrayer, Aramon. They're out at $40 flat. This thing is looks like it's gonna be a little bit bigger than just those models.
But with all the Primera stuff and even with the Custody stuff, all that's been a good average 35, and those pieces are pretty sizable.
Well, my only thing is, you didn't get into Warhammer because it was cheap, so you're gonna pay what you pay.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I really hate is too strong a word, but I get annoyed by people that say like, "Oh man, it's way too much." And just this is a game.
I've heard nothing but good things about this Forge box thing. Like for the AdMech stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what makes up that box.
A lot of people are saying it's maybe like 160, maybe 180.
Yeah.
And even at that, this whole box will be worth it. Some people are just like, I'm gonna buy 2 boxes, and then
that was my initial thought. I'm buying 2 boxes. Now looking at the stats of the Little Knights, I probably will stick with just 1 box, and then get a third Knight whenever they come out individual.
Yeah.
I play both Mechanicum and Necrons, so buying the box, I'm not buying anything I don't play. But as for,
I'm sure they're gonna have like additional pieces because they're doing like 4 different Titans, aren't they? Like 2 of them are gonna be the same, but you're gonna switch out stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bodies are going to be the same. Later on down the road, you're going to get weapon options. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this, magnetize.
Yeah.
But are they gonna be actual like weapon options? Like, is it gonna be a weapon sprue, or do you think they're gonna come out with another brand new box?
They'll come out with another brand new box.
All right,
it'll be like the difference between a Knight and a Knight Order.
I'm gonna touch up on your conspiracy nut job right here.
Okay.
All right, I think this year is gonna be nothing but optional like attachments to other stuff.
Okay.
Because this is where I'm getting at.
Okay.
I think they're gonna do Fulgrim. They already have Snake Lady, and you can detach her into a thing.
You're going deep into this.
I know. I'm telling you. I'm trying to.
You're fetching.
I'm trying to itch scratch an itch that you may have. So you have the snake option, and then you also have the demon option, which leaves a snake body.
Yes.
Now, instead of doing a full fucking Fulgrim thing, they're gonna give you the Fulgrim upper body that you can use for Snake Lady.
So
I think that's a little too far.
Okay, my only thing with it is that the way that it's modeled does seem like it could be, but my biggest thing with that is some of the, like, she has runes on some of the scales on her underbelly, and they can't use those things because that's like it looks like elven kind of scripture, rather than like chaos, like Slanesh scripture.
And that's where they're gonna give you green stuff, baby. Your Fulgrim piece goes with green stuff.
They will not give you a fucking like, here's a bottle of green stuff, or here's like a little stack.
There's a liquid thing of green stuff.
Go fill it up.
Have fun, kids.
No, they will not.
I do think that Mark is onto something a little bit there. They just put out a big model with a snake tail.
Yes.
Which means Fulgrim can be right around the corner because it's basically the same sculpt.
They're
just like looking at the Redemptor Dreadnought and comparing it to the Warglaves. It's basically the same thing. It's like when you're looking at a comic book cover, and then
we're gonna get variants. We're getting variants.
Okay.
GW's.
Well, the thing with Fulgrim is that
him and Angron are coming out. They got to do all the...
Well, the thing that I've heard, and this has been a rumor, and again, rumor, so take it with a heavy dosing of salt here. I hope you're not a slug. When it comes to Fulgrim, apparently he has been done for quite some time. Like, they were just pretty much waiting for the right time. This seems like the right time because Marathi, if you don't know anything about AOS kind of lore and kind of things like that, she was eaten by Slanesh. Like, Slanesh just like feeds on elf souls.
Yeah,
they're like, hey, boom, fucking.
It's good. Goes with everything.
He's popping them like M&Ms. He's just like wolfing them down.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, piece of candy.
He's fucking. What's that dude's name? Ed Woods. No, fuck it. Doesn't matter.
Ed Gein.
Child killer. The thing is that apparently he has been done for quite some time, and they're just kind of waiting with Morathi and how she's snake-like, like Slaanesh would be, but is order, and she hates Slaanesh. That's her whole thing. So now that they've proven that they could sell this type of model, I think that's going to add something to Fulgrim. I think Fulgrim may be around the corner.
I always felt that before they do all the other Primarchs, they would get the Demon Primarchs out, because you already got 2 out of the 4 done.
Yeah.
Might as well do the rest, and you don't really want to give, like, your good guys, I guess. Not say like a fighting chance. I guess lore-wise, you don't really want to give them a fighting chance. You want like the Forces of Chaos to try to like.
You want a little more shit heaped upon them.
Yeah,
I think a little more struggle.
I think that's, to me, I think that's what makes sense to them. They're like, let's just give them fucking a lot of shit, because everyone's complaining about the Imperium has too much stuff on them.
Yeah,
we'll give them these 4 big guys, and then lay it down the line. Then we'll really fuck them on that. On the other Primarchs.
I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping for Fulgrim because of any of the Chaos factions, Chaos Space Marines, just Chaos Gods. I've always liked Slaanesh. Like, it's just been my go-to. So I'm hoping that I will happily buy that Fulgrim model day one and put it together. And I'll start building up my Emperor's Children's list up. I'll put everything on the back burner and I'll start doing that.
Would you get Demon Sluts?
Probably.
Demonets. Right.
I mean, I've always been I've always seen, even though it's not really addressed in lore all that way, that like demons help Chaos Space Marines. It's not really in lore.
But I don't know. I always, in my head, it made more sense if they did.
That's the way it makes sense in my head too. It's just like, why wouldn't they work together? Like, they worship the same god, they have the same end goal, but like, they have to give you like the Chaos Space Marine angle, and they can't give you like a demon angle because it's just bloodlust or whatever. So if I was gonna make an Emperor's Children list, it's not necessarily gonna be Chaos Space Marines. It's gonna be Chaos Space Marines and demons. So I am looking to get that start collecting box, because it has some okay stuff on there. The Chariot's cool.
Chariot, yeah.
The Chariot looks badass, and I'm always a cavalry unit kind of guy. Cavalry unit.
I think I can get behind that.
Something about like shit.
That's why
I'm like, hell yeah.
That's why you're super into like the Raven Wing, right?
Yeah, I'm super into Raven Wing. I hate bikes like in real life. Like, I'm not a big like motorcycle guy, but I love them on the fucking tabletop. They just look cool. You can put them in weird, interesting. Speaking of that, a little bit of hobby progress, just to pepper this in here. I made my Raven Wing Talon Master, and I put him on his base, and I do like the cork port like I usually do. But what I did was I cut the stem at an angle and put one of the magnets. So the magnet is at an angle that's going up. So each of my
popping wheelies.
Yeah, so he's like popping a wheelie up, and then when I make my Samael on the Sable Claw, he's gonna be angled down just like the actual Samus model. So he's gonna be angled down with his fucking thing up. It's gonna be hella sweet. But we're gonna talk a little more about ForgeBane.
Yeah, we got on tangent.
Because ForgeBane is the big thing that everybody's been talking about. It's kind of hard to avoid.
I actually wanted to add to the cavalry.
Oh, go for it.
Imperial Guard, which I do play a little bit of.
Okay.
They have cavalry, but they don't make the models.
What is it?
They're horseback riders.
The Rough Riders.
Yeah, the Rough Riders. It's like, it's really cool. You know, like, this is the 40th fucking millennia. There's amazing technological advances. These motherfuckers are still riding horses.
Yeah, I didn't think that planets could sustain horses.
Krieg, the corpse, the Krieg guys.
Death Krieg.
Yeah, Death Court of the Krieg. They have horses.
Yeah,
they don't have. They have like the fucking gas mask horses.
Yeah, they're really like World War I inspired. That's why I kind of like those.
Yeah, I think everyone like.
But like they don't make the models for it. You know.
I mean, but that offers like some really cool kit bashing ideas, especially with like the Age of Sigmar, like the Empire stuff, like the Bretonians and things like that. There's some really, really cool looking horse models, to be honest with you. I really do like, there's something about cavalry units that I've always just gravitated to. So
get wet over that Lord of the Rings scene where they're about to fight the orcs or whatever.
Hell yeah, dude. The fucking orcs riding the The Goblin Riders on the fucking wargs.
Oh no, I'm talking about that part where I forgot what it is. They have all those horses. Maybe it's like the final thing.
Oh, the final ride of the Rohirrim.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, dog. Death.
Fucking nerds.
Yeah, dude, I love fucking all that shit. Honestly, like I saw some of the Lord of the Rings things, like the models that they've produced in the past, and I'm like, man, I'd really like to play this because I've seen a bit of it that I'd like to play, but I know no one here would actually play it, so I gave up on that, and I think I'm just gonna get a Balrog so I could paint it, because I just like the Balrog. I would love to get the Smog, the dragon, but it's like $800. I am not gonna pay that much, and it's a big ass fine cast. It's like probably about a foot long. It's ridiculously big. I could be exaggerating, but it looks fucking huge compared to everything that they produce. But do you have anything else you want to talk about with Cavalry?
No. That was it.
So we're gonna get to ForgeBane. That's the main topic.
This is the reason right here why I decided to go from 2 boxes to 1.
Mm-hmm.
The Armiger Warglaves are basically dreadnoughts.
Hey, let me just throw this in here. I love dreadnoughts.
Yeah, but it's not enough for me to spend $160 twice.
I got you.
You know, when they come out individual, they'll probably be around $80.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing somewhere around the price of the Redemptor Dreadnought.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You know, I'm a little poor, but I spend a little bit more money on toys than I should. So I would probably get a third one, just individual.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what we have for the Armiger Warglaves.
Okay.
They are the fastest out of all the dreadnoughts. It's the next fastest one would be the Contemptor Dreadnought.
Yeah.
So the Armiger is 14 inches. The Contemptor is at 9.
Okay.
The weapon skill is the only thing. The weapon skill ballistic skill is the only thing they didn't spoil.
Mm-hmm.
But most dreadnoughts are at a 3.
Yeah.
With the Contemptor at a 2, and even Imperial Knights themselves are only at a 3. So you can guess that they're probably going to be a 3-up for weapon skill ballistic skill.
Yeah.
They are strength 7, which is on par with the Redemptor and the Contemptor, and the original Dreadnought is only a strength 6.
I thought they were strength 6.
No, they're strength 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then their close combat weapon is times 2, so strength 14 in close combat.
Okay, I thought it was strength 12. I thought I read strength 12, but I guess I read that wrong. But go ahead.
And then their toughness is 7, which is on par with every Dreadnought available.
Mm-hmm.
They have 12 wounds, which is actually 1 less than the Redemptor Dreadnought.
Mm-hmm.
The Redemptor Dreadnought comes in at 13 wounds.
Yeah.
4 attacks, which is on par with every Dreadnought that is out in existence.
Yes, sir.
They didn't spoil the leadership, not that that matters for a single model.
Mm-hmm.
And its save is a 3-up, 5-up, which is on par with the armor save is on par with the Redemptor and the original Dreadnought, and the invulnerable save is on par with the Contender Dreadnought.
Yeah.
So they didn't spoil the points, but you're looking, since it is right around the range of both a Contemptor and a Redemptor.
Probably about 150 or so.
We're probably looking at about 200 points.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
It has less firepower than the Redemptor.
Yes.
So I don't imagine it being more than 200. A lot of people are like, oh, 250, you know.
I think 200, I've heard, as I've been reading, that some people are like 200 is the breaking point.
Yeah.
If it's anything higher than 200,
nobody wants to play with it.
Yeah.
I would, just because
I think they look fucking cool as fuck.
And that's the thing, is it's more a cool factor more than anything. I would honestly say that they're somewhere around the 180 mark.
Probably. 'Cause, I mean, we're looking at the original Dreadnought is 134.
Yes.
The Contemptor is 167. So it's definitely not going to be cheaper than a Contemptor. The Redemptor comes in at about 200 flat, depending on weapon options.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to remember that there also is a Venerable.
The Venerable is only a little bit more expensive than the original Dreadnought.
I think it's like 154 or something
and
like
the
that.
only thing it comes with a 2-up for weapon skill ballistic skill, I believe. At least that's the way it was in 7th.
No, it is a 3-up.
It's a 3-up, 3-up? Okay, it does have the Venerable rule, though, where it gets a 6-up feel no pain.
Yeah.
Which can ignore mortal wounds as well.
Yeah, I was right on the money. Venerable, at least for Dark Angels, 154. And I believe that's with its weapon options.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, if it's...
I don't know. I mean, it's fast as fuck in that thermal spirit.
That-
It's
that's-
30 inches across.
That's what I'm thinking. I think that like 180 is a sweet spot. Like honestly, 200 is the breaking point for sure.
Yeah.
Like if it's 200, that's really pushing it. I'll still play it just to play it.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Mechanicum. I buy armies according to what I'm reading in the Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
And I did like the world of Mechanicum, even though Mechanicum itself was kind of boring.
It was a very sloggy read. Yeah.
I did like the world of it. You know, when that was your first introduction to an actual assassin, which was pretty amazing. All the knights running around on the planet were pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The psychers. I liked the world of Mechanicum, if not the actual story.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like Mechanicum. I like they look cool. They look cool as fuck.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, when I see the 160, I'm really debating it because I'm paying 160 for 2 models. Like, I don't see myself really using any of the Mechanicus stuff. Even though I like the way that it looks, I just don't see myself even using that, like, as an allied attachment or anything.
Take those Guitars and Dominus off your hand.
Well, let's see what you got for trade, or let's see what you got in cash.
You know I'm always good for it.
Or your butthole. But I just should alienate a few more listeners.
Those scragglers.
The ones that made it
We
20
made it.
minutes in.
We made it past the boner jokes, guys. I think we're good.
The one thing you gotta know is that we don't take shit seriously. So I'm sorry if you were offended, but
I'm not sorry if you're offended. Quit being
it's
a
just
bitch.
it's just the way that our humor works.
Yeah, there's other podcasts that do things 10 times better, and more clean than us. So.
You're not. You're weird. I seriously hope you're not taking us seriously, as in we know what we're talking about. Because I've only been playing Escape for like 4 years,
and I haven't had a game in.
Hey, you're close to it, Papa.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
That's alright though, because there's a lot of people who collect Warhammer. They don't play Warhammer. They're more about building and painting and putting it on the shelf.
And I like the lore, so
yeah, that's the one thing that seals it for me with those guys, the Armators, is that they're like the scout squad, so they're just like faster and just like they're running ahead and kind of like taking out like quick little units with like, you know, their fucking thermal cannon just fucking goosh. They run up to a tank and slice it in half, and they're just running, and they're just like, hey, come on guys, like the Titans are lumbering behind them.
One more thing. And I put an asterisk by this, so apparently it's important.
Okay.
It cannot fall back and shoot charge like a regular Imperial Knight.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
It is stuck in exactly the same league as Dreadnoughts.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of people didn't. They lost a lot of interest when they released the stats. But then again, you know, a lot of people just want to fucking be OP. They want a 200 point knight with all the fucking greatness of a knight.
Yeah, and for us, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're all in agreement. It's kind of just like, it looks cool, it fits the lore super badass, and we really don't necessarily care about super competitive play. And for the super competitive play, you know, stick to your knights. If you really want to add knights, I honestly don't even know if knights are competitive. They're 300 plus points for not a lot of payoff, that they get taken out pretty quickly by a lot of things now.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'll probably lose one knight on turn 1 if somebody really knows what they're doing and have their second knight knock down a peg. But at a 2,000 point list, you're probably taking about 5 knights.
Yeah, so...
Well, sorry. Like, I'm just reading more. It says, while the Tech Priest Dominus blah blah blah, longer a vulnerable battlefield, dedicate your Questoral Mechanicus and you can be able to use the Knight of Cog stratagem for the Adeptus Mechanicus to provide them access to the Canticles of Omnissiah.
Which, the Canticles of the Omnissiah are not great.
I mean, besides that shroud, the shroud.
It's nice that they have extra rules, like Canticles of Omnissiah, and everybody can take it. Doesn't matter what Forge World you're from, everybody has Canticles.
Yeah.
And it's nice that that this little mini knight can take extra rules. The great part is that if you dedicate it to Mechanicum, you can fix it with the Tech Priest Dominus.
Select
can a Tech Marine fuck with it?
No.
No, right?
No.
It's just because it's a Mechanicum.
Yeah.
Specific. Okay. And that's fine. Like I could. That's totally cool. But yeah, they just look cool. I like that they're more. They are more like dreadnoughts. They're just bigger dreadnoughts. Do you have the gun option and the melee option that they have?
The gun option is the thermal spear.
Mm-hmm.
It is a 30-inch assault D3, which kind of sucks.
Not really.
I mean,
not when you can actually advance it and like maybe
you can advance it. Yeah, it's not the gun itself that sucks. It's me that sucks at rolling dice.
Fair enough.
Like I got. Yeah, it's a D3.
Mm-hmm.
That means I have 2 chances to roll a 1, which is 1 more chance than I need to roll a 1. But it is assault D3, strength
cool.
8, AP -4, damage D6. So it's essentially a 30-inch multi-gun.
Yeah.
And it does have the multi rule. So at 15 inches, you roll 2 dice for damage and kick the lowest.
Yeah, and that's cool because I mean it's honestly more of a tank buster more than anything. It's just there to like take out like a bigger threat, and then go ahead and
we saw from the pictures that were released a month or 2 months ago, whatever. One of those pictures of the new knights. When GW first announced, that they were releasing new knights, we saw that there was a flamer option. So if you have a heavy flamer, I mean we all know how devastating flamers are in 8th edition. So you got a 14-inch movement plus your assault, plus your fucking D6 template that doesn't miss. You don't have to hit you don't have to roll to hit. You're just rolling the wounds. So.
Yeah. I wonder if it's gonna be the same thing where it's like an assault 6 or something.
Yeah.
Assault D6 for like for the flamer option.
Follow-up question. Not for us because obviously we don't know the answer, but will we, like a regular Imperial Knight, be able to give it double gun?
It's possible.
I don't see why not, though.
Yeah, I mean it's all about like the one thing that knights are really cool about is those options.
Yeah.
Like they're meant to be like, all right, let's take. We're more of the long range knight. We're the close combat knight. With the glove, the hand that it has, and the no glove, no love, and
I forgot what it's called. It's
never love.
So that's the thing is like it's a really cool model. It has some fairly nice stats. I mean, I'm a fan of the dreadnoughts, even though maybe competitive play doesn't like them all that much. But I like the dreadnought stat line.
I like the fact that this is one of the fastest dreadnoughts. Then
yes,
yeah,
it is really cool.
14 movement. I don't even think. What do the chicken walkers have?
They have a 10-inch movement.
Yeah, for something or chicken walkers, I would always expect them to be almost like something this quick, but they're really not. Yeah. But just throw this dude up in the front, and then especially how Skitarii they're mostly just there to get fucking killed. While especially in the Skitarii, you mostly relying on your doom crawlers and your robots, unless depending on what you're running, maybe like priest or whatever. But majority of the time, people are just relying on their robots and doom crawlers. It's nice to have something like this guy come up here, take a couple of fucking hits, get killed, and then have your other guys move up and take their shots.
And I forgot to get the full stats on the robots. Mark, do you happen to know off the top of your head how much they cost?
The points?
A unit of Castellan robots?
Fuck, no, not on the top of my head.
I want to say it's like in the 180 range.
Yeah.
That's just a top of the dome type of guess, but
like the twin phosphor cannons or whatever, the shooting robots.
But while you look at that, I'm gonna go over the. Did they go over the
chainsword?
The chainsword?
Yes.
It's basically just the same as a dreadnought close combat weapon. It is strength times 2, so it puts them up to 14. It's minus 3 AP and a damage. Flat 3 damage.
Yeah, damage 3. Okay, yeah. So again, I like it. I like that it's like a short, stubby kind of chainsword too. It's not like the super
chainsword arms.
Yeah, that'd be fucking hilarious.
Okay, so
it'd be dead
for
like
fun,
in fucking 2 turns. But
that'd be hilarious if you actually got a kill off it though.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
For a unit of Castellan robots, which is 2 robots, it's 220 points.
Jeez.
But you're looking at 3, 6, 9, 18 Strength 6, AP -2, 1 damage. Shots that don't get benefit from cover.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I mean, 220 is a lot for 2 robots.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe I don't know. I've played with them a few times. They throw a lot of bullets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we're just looking at what the points value of one of these things might be.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, it should probably be under 200. Not far under 200, but it should come in under 200.
Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, that's one of the big things inside the actual ForgeBane box. It's ForgeBane, right? Not ForceBane.
Yeah, ForgeBane.
ForgeBane.
Yeah.
It's gonna be your mechanical side or your Necron side.
So I mean, like
the lore behind that is they found one of those. Was it the black?
the black matter,
Not the black. Yeah, it's something like the black matter. Fuck.
dark matter.
Like a black crystal. Thing,
Is it?
the,
Okay. I would have thought they.
Fuck, I had it on top of my head.
I thought they had one of those like super. One of those super blueprints that they're always looking for. That they're always looking for in like the lore.
Oh, for the relics from the Dark Age.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, they there's this fucking dark matter, for lack of actually remembering what the name is.
Look at all this dark matter.
So dark.
Fucking Nibbler pooping it out there in the corner. But no, I mean basically they're drilling into the planet and they discover like, oh shit, there's some fucking robots down here. Let's go see if they're friendly. And they're not.
Some Necrons.
But yeah, I mean like the Tech Priest Dominus, it's kind of expensive. It's 135 points if I'm not mistaken. For their HQ. And then it's kind of like their only option other than the guy that fixes tanks for the Imperial Guard.
Engines here?
Yeah, the engines here. I feel like they need more HQ options.
Well, they have the call.
Yeah,
They have call, they have the Dominus,
I meant
and
cheaper,
the engines here.
cheaper options.
Yeah, the cheapest one is going to be the engines here.
Yeah,
I've seen people take at least, like maybe 1,000, maybe 2,000, at least like a Dominus and maybe an engine seer. And then some people throw in a call too.
But weren't like Mechanicus always like kind of a more elite style unit or elite style army? It's just that the and 7th edition the troops were just cheap enough that you can like pile on the troops.
See, because that's the thing. Fluff wise, the Skitari are supposed to be akin to the Imperial Guard. They're just humans. You're supposed to be able to throw them out by the thousands, and just like throw wave after wave of my own men, and not care who dies. The army doesn't work quite that way. You know, they only go up to 10 men, and they do have a lot of war gear that makes them pricier than what I feel they were initially intended to be. So it's quasi elite. I mean, obviously not as elite as a Space Marine army, but not as cheap as Guard either.
Yeah.
So I mean, just the fact that it's supposed to be a midpoint between the Guard and the Space Marines, as far as points per model, you have a really expensive HQ.
Well, maybe that'll be adjusted with Chapter Approved 2019 when that comes out. Because this one's 2018, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2019.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that the Tech Priest Dominus should be dropped in price.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we should get a cheaper HQ.
I think
option.
with all the stuff that he can do, the canticles, repairing troops, repairing.
He has an axe, the servo claws. He has 2 guns. He's good points for his model.
Yeah,
we just need a suckier, cheaper version.
Yeah,
which is the engines here. But
okay, fair enough. And then Necrons we've gone over. Nothing too exciting there.
Except the Cryptek. I mean, that's a beautiful fucking
model.
It's a cool
what is that
model,
Cryptek supposed to do? I mean, everyone's all about
it's just a regular Cryptek, but he's faster. He can move further inches.
Well, he's jumping over a spider dog.
Yeah, but I mean, Cryptek. Yeah, he's gonna have, from what I've read, the same rules that the Wraiths have in their movement, and that they can move over models and terrain as if it weren't there. And then he gives out an invulnerable save to units within 3 inches of himself, I believe. Okay. And then he adds +1 to the rolls for your the shit that brings him back to life.
Reanimation.
Yeah,
protocols.
reanimation protocols.
Okay. But rumor is that it's going to be 160. They haven't necessarily giving out the price. They have said that it is up for pre-order this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So when you listen to this again, that Saturday is going to be pre-order. So go ahead and make sure that you pre-order it. If anything, just for those nights, because even if you don't necessarily play them, people will probably want them, and it's some good trade stock to have. Sometimes with Warhammer, you're not always thinking about playing it. Sometimes you're just thinking like, oh, people are gonna want it. Let me trade it off, or let me see what I can get.
That's me right now.
And
I think that's the reason why I got that Commander Farsight.
If you're not, I mean, seriously, this is the best recommendation I can give. If you're not playing Mechanicum or Necrons, just don't buy the box. Those knights will be out in a couple of weeks in individual boxes, because
probably a couple months.
More
than likely.
The point I'm trying to make is that there's going to be so many of these models of the fucking Skitarii, the Tech Priest Dominus, the couple of Necron guys that are in there. There's going to be so many of them out there, and so many people trying to get rid of them because all they wanted were the 2 knights, that you're going to be stuck with those fucking models. Whether you play those armies or not, if you don't play those armies, you're stuck with a bunch of shit that you can't even make a patrol you can make a patrol detachment out of, and that's it.
If you want me to spin it this way, if you've thought about getting into a Mechanicum army, it's like buying a starter box, but this time you get 2 fucking bigger robots.
That's true. You're not wrong there. But yeah, we'll see if we can make a deal for my side of the Mechanicum mark. As far as the Necrons go, I don't know. I'll just have them there, and if anybody wants them, fucking lowball me if you want.
I play Necrons and I don't want them.
Who knows? Maybe we'll make it. We'll have some extras, so we're just like be the 18th color, and you get Spider Necrons.
I could possibly do that. I'll have them as a giveaway.
All right, somebody out there is
Necrons. Because honestly, I like Necrons from like a lore standpoint. I just don't like the way they play a lot of the times.
It's a little bit of a boring army to play. It's like, I'm just going to roll this Goss, and I'm going to roll this Goss over here too. And then I'm going to roll this Goss, and then I'm going to bring it all back to life. Everything you killed, I'm bringing back to life.
Yeah. And
they just leaked out the Necron.
Yeah,
I haven't took a look at it.
We're going to bring those out in a little bit.
The Dynasties.
Yeah.
Dynasties. Probably just Dynasties. I'm just saying that wrong. But... speaking of other things that are coming out, we touched a little bit on Morathi, how she came out for Age of Sigmar.
Daughters of
Daughters of Cain? The Daughters of Cain Battle Tome came out. There were
such
some
beautiful fucking toys.
Yeah, they really are. The Medusas came out.
Yes, the Medusas.
So the little troops. I don't know if their troops are like I don't know if they're battle line for that army or if they're in the other category.
Little snake women. Their order.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hate Slaanesh like a son of a bitch.
All right.
Morathi was swallowed by Slaanesh, and her hate for Slaanesh and Chaos grew so much that when the whole thing is that Slaanesh ate so many souls towards the end of the End Times, the original fantasy storyline, that it got bloated and just fell asleep. It started to hibernate. It got the itis and just fucking knocked out. And her hate festered for so long because she was one of the souls that was in there. She climbed out of his fucking mouth, and she's now been imbued with Slaanesh powers, but she fucking hates everything about it. So she'll spend every waking moment trying to kill him.
I don't really know much about Age of Sigmar. And sometimes some armies confuse me, like the Lizardmen. I'm like, oh yeah, these dudes got to be bad. They're like, no, they're Order 2. I'm
no, they were specifically created by the old ones from the stars, and they were specifically made to kill Chaos.
All right, well.
And they are the only I believe the only army that they can ally with are Stormcast.
Okay,
and that's because they have some of the Star Drakes and the Drakari that they ride, that they have some sort of link.
Okay.
And that's the reason why they work with them.
I got you. So, I see, now I don't want to assume anything. I'm like, all right, well, tree guys have to be good. I'm like, nope. They're fucking evil as fuck. They just want to fuck everything.
No, they're good. They're part of the Elven race. But yeah, Age of Sigmar, really cool stuff. I've been listening to some of the books there. A lot of them are short stories, actually, involving the Stormcast. The Realmgate Wars is all about Stormcast, like getting into these different kind of battles with chaos, and they've all been pretty cool. But the other thing that's come out is some terrain for Age of Sigmar. It's the Azurite or the Azure.
Is that the one with the giant telescope?
No. That's the War Scythe monumental thing. Shit. Fuck. Yeah, that thing's fucking huge and pretty expensive. But it's just some like broken kind of buildings for Sigmarites. That's pretty much what it is.
That new expansion came out for Age of Sigmar with those 4 characters.
I believe we talked about that last time, didn't we?
I don't think so.
If we didn't, then it's the Malign Portents, and it was the Legions of Nagash. Battle Tome also came out. If we didn't talk about that last episode, I think we did though. I think we spent a good chunk of that.
I know I was talking to Mike Blanton.
Yes.
And because these characters, it's only 4 species, but it's one for each subtype.
Grand Alliance.
Yeah, Grand Alliance. So even if you have like an all Treefolk army, you still take the Stormcast character from Malign whatever.
It wouldn't do too good there.
No, that's just an example. Where it's actually doing really good is with the Karadron. Yes. Because they're a shooty army, and this dude like gives a lot of buffs to shooting. Yeah, so people are taking like whole Karadron armies with that one Stormcast hero from Malign Importance.
He lets like war machines. I don't know specifically what they're called, but the war machines variant, like there's the heavy like barrage type weapony things. He allows them to shoot twice. So like a lot of the old armies, like the Free Peoples, had like the battle cannons that pump out like a mass amount of shots. You can basically do that twice. They're doing it with old school dwarf armies. They're doing it with Karadron overlords. So anything that has like really big shooty guns, he lets them do twice. The only one that's weird is the Ghost, the Death one. Yeah. Because he only specifically works with, I think, Night Haunt, is what they're called, or Nightshade, or whatever the hell that particular faction is.
Nagash.
Even though he's Death, he works best with them, while the other ones work better as a Grand Alliance, not necessarily a specific, like, the Stormcast doesn't work well with Stormcast, even though he's a Stormcast character.
You know what the Destruction one does?
The Destruction, I do not know. Unfortunately, I don't even know that much. That's what I remember off the top of my head, and since I don't play much Destruction, I apologize. But that's come out, and then just last week, and now coming out this week, is going to be the Tau Codex. So
yeah, we're all so excited for Tau.
The Tau Empire has some stuff, and I wrote down a couple of things that I've seen from some.
They even have a new faction called the Broken.
What is their what's their color scheme? Black on black.
Black on black.
But here's some rules that I have found for him. One of the army wide rules is for the greater good. So basically, if another unit within 6 inches of a friendly unit gets charged, the one that's not getting charged
can fire Overwatch.
So if there's like a 20-man blob of just the fire warriors and another 20 blob, the 20 blob that's not getting assaulted can also fire Overwatch.
Most of their guns are strength 5 too. So.
Yeah, so they're gonna shred shit in close combat. I don't know if you want to get that close to them. But then there's the Masters of War. This is the Tau Commanders. Now they kind of nerfed that where commanders you can only
use one commander now.
You can only use one commander for the whole army, and for good reason. So there's one that's super powerful. They have specific names, but they're like Matark, and they have weird names, so I didn't write them down. To be honest with you,
what's wrong with Bob? Why can't he just be Commander Bob?
Because they're fish people, man.
Vagina fish people.
Vagina fish people don't do things by your rules.
For the greater good.
No, it's the Overwatch. I explained that. No, but okay. So he has 2 that you can pick from. You can only use these once per battle before your turn. All right. So once per battle before turn, one commander can choose at the end of turn reroll. So up until the end of turn, you can reroll friendly units within 6 of the commander. But they cannot move for any reason. So you're making literally like a static gun line. You position them where you want, and they just fire, and they can reroll. But they cannot move. Once you invoke that rule, you kind of want to get everything lined up before for your next turn when you can do that. Or if you're going to use it on first turn, which you probably should do that. But yeah, you can reroll all hit rolls within 6 inches of them, so you can pretty much put whatever you want and just fucking railgun the shit out of people. Or you can units within 6 of the commander can advance and shoot before their movement phase with no shooting penalties. So even if it's a heavy weapon, you have no shooting penalties. You can just move, shoot, and then you can do your actual movement phase, shoot again, see what you want to do there.
Damn,
so those are actually pretty good. Tao's looking kind of tasty, TBH.
Again.
But
Tao did get chapter tactics. Like that seems to be the cool thing these days.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got an army, you got to get some chapters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, you got chapters? You want some? We got some.
We got you, baby.
So there's the Tao. Coordinated fire arcs. Any unit with this tenet that fires Overwatch within 6 inches of another Tao unit or triggers for the greater good. Hang on.
I was like, didn't we just hear that one?
I was like, didn't I just explain?
Oh, here we go. It does it on 5s instead of 6s.
There you go. A little more powerful.
I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds like what Roman just said, but no.
So they can do for the greater good
on
with 5s instead of 6s.
Yeah. And then there's the Borkan. Superior craftsmanship. All rapid fire and heavy weapons get an extra 6 inches of maximum range.
Jesus.
Okay.
Doesn't one of their guns already shoot like 72 inches? It's ridiculous.
The Farsight Enclaves. Devastating counter-strike. When shooting enemies from a distance of 6 inches or less with someone using this tenet, reroll 1s to wound. So, Flamers and Fusion Blasters are going to be even more awesome. Daleth. It sounds like Mike Tyson trying to say Dallas.
Dallas.
Now you're going to get your ass kicked. This guy's on the podcast.
Adaptive camouflage. Any unit that does not move, charge, fall back, Manta Strike, pile in, or consolidate on its turn gains the benefits of cover on the opponent's subsequent turn.
So stay out of combat and you're going to do just fine.
And there's the
Tao way.
Viorla, strike fast. If a unit advances, its rapid fire weapons become assault instead. In addition, units with this tenet do not suffer a penalty for advancing and shooting assault weapons. Alright, that's cool.
So you're going to have almost the same amount of shots and no penalty while moving where you need to move.
And then there's Sakea, a +1 leadership.
Cicada, isn't that a tree?
In addition, in the shooting
bug?
phase, you can reroll a single failed hit roll for each Sakea unit.
Fair enough. So Tower are looking pretty good.
Yeah.
They're looking good.
There wasn't a whole lot of mortal wounds shenanigans in the stratagems like what some of the other books we've seen, but of course they counter that by being able to fucking fuck you in the ass when shooting. So.
Shoot twice as more.
Yeah, it's about rate of fire for them, not necessarily being very damaging.
I mean, that's gonna be okay, especially for like all the horde armies that now been kind of dominating that.
Yeah, they seem like a good counter. I remember talking a lot of shit about Tau for so long, and then like I really looked at them and just like the design aspect, and I was like, they look pretty cool.
I can't get past the fish face with the vagina on there.
I don't think I'll play them, to be honest with you, but they're at least cool to wear. Alright, fair enough. And you know what? I'm used to fucking getting creamed by any kind of army because I suck.
So this is no different.
This is no different. It's just going to be faster.
Every once in a while, I like the different flavors of different
exactly.
people whooping my ass.
Yeah, you can't have chocolate all the time. Sometimes you got to have a little vanilla. Sometimes you got to have a little strawberry. And it's just maybe a little coffee. Who knows? Just you gotta...
Sometimes you just hate getting plowed by so many Tyranids, by so many guardsmen. Why not?
I'm tired of getting plowed by fucking death guards. So let's see what happens now. But regardless to what you might have thought, that wasn't even the main topic for today. The main topic, and I told John to keep it short and sweet, keep it simple. To kind of go over T-Suns, because T-Suns have been out for a while. Mm-hmm. So for us to cover it and go real in depth, kind of be redundant. We're just gonna give you like the key points.
The thing is, I don't want to. I'm not necessarily looking to cover it like, from cover to cover.
Yeah.
I want
people
to talk
can
about. Yeah, I want to talk about something that I've been talking
about. Your favorite things. This is like Oprah's favorite things. Now this is
like
our
Oprah's
little segment.
Club.
I mean, the main topic
John's
for this
favorite
podcast
thing.
would have to have been fucking Forge whatever.
What?
The name of the box?
ForgeBane.
Yeah. That'll probably get worked into the title.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about the Thousand Suns book because it does something that I have been talking about since 8th edition started. Mm-hmm. And it fixes Psychic.
To some degree.
It makes it fun for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
not fixes it. That's giving a wrong impression.
Yeah. It fixes Psychic for the Thousand Suns only. But it made playing them very enjoyable.
Okay.
Fucking you played Mikey and he was just fucking pissed.
I didn't know.
Play of the week.
He wasn't pissed, but you could tell. I was like, you played? He's like, yeah, he played his Thousand Suns. And I stopped and I was like, did you get fucked over that psychic power? I was like, did he get you on that smite spam? And I was like, but I don't know if John really does that. And he's like, yeah, he's all that fucking psychic phase fucked me up.
The psychic phase did fuck him up, but I did not smite spam. I hate smite spam.
And even though like Mikey's still a fairly new player, I was like, damn, John took that last win really like motherfucker. Let me show you how it wins done.
So the
in a way, I'm glad that it happened. Okay, because the first game I played against Mikey, I didn't use any special rules. I fired my bolters. I took my armor saves. That's it. The game that Roman played...
It was simple. Super simple. Nothing, no special rules.
The game that Roman played against Mikey, Roman also took it easy.
Yeah.
And Mikey has the problem I have where he buys too much shit. The problem that I don't have, though, is that I have competitive armies.
He buys the cool looking stuff, which
yeah,
I do that too, but I try to look into what's the best outfit for my guys.
But like the thing about Mikey is that he's buying too many different armies without having enough of one to make up an army.
I try to tell him.
And before anybody kind of misconstrues this and we're just shitting on a random guy, he's our friend, and we've told him this to his face. Yes. So we're not saying anything that he doesn't already know himself. So don't try to don't paint us out to be
fun fact. He just bought a whole bunch of chaos stuff.
I know. Mikey came to us and told us that he wanted to start playing this game that we are playing. So we're trying to help him out. We're trying to lead him into the right direction. He started off with Tyranids, which was a good place to start, and he got a decent amount, and he started painting them, and then all of a sudden he was like, "Oh, I got Space Wolves." And then the next day, oh, I got Black Templars. And then the next day, oh, I got like 3 Land Raiders and some other vehicles.
I got Blood Angels now.
Yeah. And then he's like, oh, I have Death Guard. And then he's like, oh, I got Rats from Age of Sigmar. And I got Seraphon from Age of Sigmar. And I'm like, Mikey, none of your armies are complete, dude. Like,
yeah, you gotta focus.
Yeah, focus on. I'm not telling you not to buy shit. I'm not telling you not to buy different armies. He also has a tank from...
he has a Lehman Russ tank.
Yeah, he has a Lehman Russ. And I told him, I was like, dude, like, I'll give you money for it, you know?
No, I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah, like, so, I don't know, does he want to start Imperial Guard?
And fun fact, just as I'm shitting on him right now, I'm the one who talked him into splitting the ForgeBane box, because I knew he was gonna be super on Necrons.
Yeah, You're not a good person.
Nope.
You're not a good person. No. But
but T-Suns.
But Mikey, get your shit together. We told you this before.
T-Suns. How'd you wreck them on that T-Sun, son?
Here's the thing.
So
I didn't realize
the
it was going to be that
weed.
bad because I didn't take a single marine.
Okay.
I took birds. Okay, so I took 40.
He took
Zangors.
that Harvey Birdman fucking list.
I took 40 Zangors, 2 units of 3 Skyfires, and a unit of Enlighten with the spears.
Okay.
And then I took 3 Shamans.
Mm-hmm.
Shamans, they let them add 1 to their hits.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't realize how devastating that was going to be. My entire army was hitting on 2s.
Mm-hmm.
And I took Armon. That was my only Marine.
Okay.
Because I haven't played him yet at all. I never had the piece in 7th. And I haven't played him in 8th. So I was like, I'm taking Armon.
Mm-hmm.
So Armon was letting me reroll my 1s.
Okay.
So I was hitting on 2s and rerolling 1s.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody had different spells. Because that's the way you have to be in 8th. Nobody can cast the same spell in the same turn.
Yep.
That's the thing that this book fixes for this army only because I have 3 different disciplines to choose from. I have 18 spells in the Thousand Suns Codex.
Mm-hmm.
I took a Demon Prince too.
Now you're being a dick.
Well, I didn't have a lot of birds. Like they're very cheap, so and Mikey has a lot of Terminators and Dreadnoughts, which is those were a little bit more pricey, so I had to catch up to him point wise. So the Demon Prince was taken from the Discipline of Zinch. My Zangors were taken from the Thousand Suns Discipline, and Ahriman was taken from the Chaos Space Marine Discipline, which is also in this book. So I didn't get stuck without having a spell to cast. Nobody had to cast Smite over and over again. I didn't cast Smite at all.
Okay.
I think it's a great spell. I hate Smite spam.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm gonna take 6 Psychers from one book, there's only 6 spells in each book. Not all those spells are good.
Mm-hmm.
So at least 2 of my guys are gonna be casting Smite.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of armies out there that specifically only cast Smite because of how good it is. And I was giving out like this one right here, Boon of Change, which can only be taken by demons. So my Demon Prince was doing this one. It's a Warp Charge 7, and you roll a D3. You can either give a unit +1 attack, +1 strength, or +1 toughness.
Okay.
So there's a lot of really neat spells in here. And that's the thing I wanted to talk about. Like if you could just give generic disciplines like we had in 7th, like divination, biomancy, telepathy, so that other armies could have more options, you will eliminate Smite spam as a problem.
Yeah.
And also, I realized playing this game that the Thousand Suns book has 2 armies in it. Because it is not Thousand Suns. It's Thousand Suns Marines and Thousand Suns Bird People. And the Bird People were devastating, and I did not expect that because even at their weakest, they're still Strength 4, AP -1. At 2 attacks apiece from each bird.
Yeah.
So it was more devastating than I anticipated, and I was like, God damn, Mikey, I'm sorry, I didn't know it was gonna be like this.
You know what? But I think that might be a good thing for Mikey, because if he keeps
that is what I wanted
to
to say, because if we keep letting him win with his fucking Dreadnought Terminator army, which is not good, he's gonna keep thinking that he doesn't need to buy anything else.
Yeah.
No, that's not gonna be the problem. He's just gonna be like, damn, I could just get whatever I want. If I'm record shop with these guys, I can keep buying whatever I want.
So maybe we just gotta keep pounding with actual lists.
Yeah. So I was at Heroes the other day picking up some Dragon Ball Super stuff because I'm a nerd, and I walked through their fucking GW section.
Pathetic.
And yeah, it's not a good selection, but they did have some Space Wolf stuff there that is good, like Wolfen and Thunderwolf Cavalry.
Yeah, we had those guys.
And I'm like, look, Mikey, this is what you need. I was like, don't buy any more fucking rats. Don't buy any more Seraphon. Don't buy. I go, first of all, make the decision right now. Do you want to play the Death Guard, the Tyranids, or the Space Wolves? I was like, you tell me right now, gun to your head, which one do you want to play, and I'll show you what you need to get out of this store, because on that store, Mikey has the store credit. So he was like, well, I guess the space was like, okay, cavalry, wolfen, this is what you need. There was 2 boxes of each.
Just after that, he shows me pictures of a bunch of chaos stuff he picked up. So this story seems like a little redundant.
Well, no,
after a while.
He did pick up the cavalry.
He did, but he started showing pictures
yeah.
of chaos stuff. He's just like, I fucking love it. The Lord's fucking badass. And I told him he's straying away from the Emperor's Light. Once you go that way,
it's not true. That's not true because I have 2 Imperial armies and I have a Chaos army. So.
Dude,
so I mean, we planned out a 2,000 point Space Wolf list for him, which was 3 units of Grey Wolves and drop pods, which a lot of people are steering away from drop pods because of the 9-inch thing. But with Space Wolves, they get to reroll failed charges as an army.
Yeah.
So if you drop in 3 units and in drop pods, one of those units can reroll failed charges up to 3 times, and then the other 2 just. They can roll charges twice.
Yeah.
So you have a really high chance of at least 2 of those getting in there. Plus his cavalry are 10.
But here's the thing. It's 9 inches for just a drop pod, right?
Yeah.
That's great because you don't have to reroll shit. Because if the drop pod goes in 9 from enemy units, and once they open, they deploy. They have to deploy with 3 inches.
Oh yeah, but they can't deploy within 9 inches.
Okay, so it has to go at least 11 inches out. Or 12 inches out.
No, just 9 inches.
Then you're just going to conga line them out?
That's all you have to do.
Fair enough.
As long as the first Marine is within 9 inches, that's all you need, you know?
Okay.
You roll the first one. If you fail, you get your reroll. If you fail, you have your command point to reroll one of those dice.
Yep.
You know, so one of those drop pod units is getting 3 chances to charge. The other 2 are getting 2 chances.
Yeah.
Plus everything else that we picked out for him is the Thunder Wolf Cavalry, the Wolfen, and just regular dogs. All those things have 10-inch to 14-inch movement depending on the unit, and a lot of them can advance and charge.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is going to be a really fast army, Mikey. I go, your 3 drop pods are going to come in at 9 inches, and everything else that's fucking an animal, a wolf, or a werewolf, is going to move really fast and be able to charge at least by turn 2, if not turn 1.
Yep.
And so we mapped out a pretty decent army for him, and he got the cavalry, so he's working on it.
Well,
apparently, he's also working on chaos, so...
Well, either way, next time I see him, I'm going to stomp him with another list, and I'm not going to go easy on him. Just because I went easy on him with some Blood Angels. I can go devastating with Blood Angels, I can go devastating with fucking Dark Angels.
Especially on a noob.
Especially on a noob. I'll just fucking destroy you and be like, alright, I'm out. But I don't want to do that. I don't like doing that. I want to get people into this hobby, but if he's going to keep doing this, then I'm just going to keep doing it. Because I don't know if he knows any other way.
It's a friendly whoop ass.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I don't know if he's going to know any other way.
Because I'm pretty sure our listeners would agree that a Dreadnought Terminator army is not viable.
Army. That's not an army,
Yeah.
first of all. You need some form of troops. He has 1 troop choice. He doesn't have an HQ. Does he?
He has a
chaplain.
he has a chaplain. But
chaplain
that's for his Black Templars.
Yeah.
He has 1 regular Space Marine captain that he's using as a Wolf Lord. But I mean, you know,
I told him since he has a couple of those dreadnoughts just laying around. Yeah, you got Boogie. Since he has a dreadnoughts laying around, I was like, just go out, buy like a Space Wolf accessory pack, and I was like, you just make Bjorn the Fellhammer if you want.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a dreadnought, and if you're all about dreadnoughts, then you know.
There was a small point. I was like, man, I already have a fucking Dark Angels and a Blood Angels. I could probably start a Space Wolves army. And I was like, no, that's too many fucking Space Marine armies.
Space Wolves are cool as fuck.
And you're doing like all the fucking, you're doing all the hard chapters. You're not doing any of like the fucking vanilla chapters. So none of that.
Like I for 30K, I did decide to steer away from chaos because that's mostly what I play in 40K. And I might play Space Wolves if they have dogs. Because I really like that aspect of them in 40K. The fact that all those wolves were there.
You know that I've been flip-flopping on 30K and what I was going to do. I'm really actually leaning towards salamanders.
Really?
Just because I like the lore and I'm fucking falling in love with Vulcan. He's probably like the only like good at heart Primarch.
Yeah.
He's the only one that like thinks that people are like naturally good.
Worth saving.
Exactly. And I'm like, oh, and on top of that, he's like an eternal, or they call it something in particular. I don't remember what it is.
A perpetual.
Perpetual. So he never dies. And I was telling John one of my favorite fucking stories. After he escapes from
Corex's ship.
Yeah, from Kurz's thing, how he fucking like crash lands into fucking what is it? McCrag.
That's right. And
he
he's
becomes
like
a fucking comet just heading towards fucking McCrag, and he explodes like a whole fucking building. Yeah. And then he's just like this burnt corpse, and people are like,
what the fuck? Yeah, and he comes back alive and starts whipping people's asses.
Just fucking like
he just loses it.
So I'm starting to really, really, really love Vulcan, and the fact that I like the fact that they have like the cold, dark skin. So it's just another like way to like paint. So I'm really thinking about salamanders, because here's the thing: I already have a Dark Angels army.
Just another shade of green, baby.
It's just gonna be black with checkerboard, and I love Dark Angels. Like as much shit as people talk about it, and I just read Fallen Angels, or heard Fallen Angels, and I understand why people are saying that they're fucking traitors. I don't see it that way. I will never see it that way. But, and then I have a Blood Angels army. And I love Sanguinius. Sanguinius is fucking awesome.
He's coming back.
No, he's not. But, the thing is, I have those armies in 40k. Mm-hmm. Like, do I really just want to transplant them to 30k? I mean, it would be cool. Like, I can, like, take some of the Cataphracti and, like, use them in 40k now. Mm-hmm. I'll just buy a unit of fucking Cataphracti if I need to. Like, I want something completely different.
I'm sure it'd be more feasible to play the same army in 30k and 40k if it wasn't so goddamn expensive.
It's true.
Oh, fun fact. I was able to secure myself. I didn't even know why I wanted it. I just got it just because.
You're just as bad as Mike.
I know. But the thing is, I'm just trading for it.
Uh-huh.
I traded for the Archmagos Dominus and the fucking skull wheelchair or big-ass thing.
All right.
So that's coming in.
All right.
And I was like, I'm really wet for that. There's a is that one of those Forge World pieces? Mm-hmm. It's like fucking expensive.
I've been putting together my Seraphon. And I was putting together the Troglodon or whatever the hell it's called. It's the one that spits. Mm-hmm. Spit Dathid. I was looking at that, and then I started thinking about the Forge World one, and I was like, fuck, I want that Forge World dinosaur. And I was like, that's like $200, and it's fine cast. And it's a huge piece. I don't know if I want to do that. But, yeah, 30k, I'm really just kind of thinking, like, I just want to set 30k apart. And maybe that's the way to do it as an army that I don't play. It'd be cool if I could do, like, a Dark Angels, but it will just be more of the same, where I can, since there's no limitations on 30k, like you can take whatever you want because they're all Space Marines and they all have the same availability. I can just kind of do something else, and even though it's a different shade of green, I honestly just want the Vulcan. I honestly would want all the Primarch pieces just so I could paint them up.
That'd be the collection of it.
Mm-hmm. But I think that about wraps it up. John's coverage for T-Suns was he just likes that it
psychic powers.
It makes the psychic phase more interesting.
Fun.
Make the psychic phase great again.
If you stayed that long. And if that
you stayed that long, then we'll alienate you there.
Super offended.
Yeah, we'll offend everybody eventually.
Yeah,
but
it's fun.
Is there any other closing things that you want to say? Maybe cover over some hobby progress that you may have?
I am painting up my Lord of Change right now. My new plastic model Lord of Change.
Nice.
I think I'm gonna go Birds of Paradise on the wings.
Okay, cool. If you don't know that, go ahead and just check out Magic.
Well, I mean, the Birds of Paradise is an actual thing.
I'm gonna say go check out the Magic card Birds of Paradise, and you'll get a good idea there. But what about you, Mark?
I'm just switching between my Imperial Fist and still working on the Custodes right now.
Okay.
Just working on troop stuff. I hate working on troop stuff, but apparently that's the one thing I need to work on.
Are you gonna go gold?
Yeah, the color scheme for them is, I forgot what it was. I don't think it's the Wardens, but it's the ones with gold and they have the hint of purple on them.
Okay.
Because like I said, I'm still on that purple kick. Mm-hmm. So any chance I'm gonna throw that purple on, I'm gonna do that. But for my jet bikes, I'm thinking about, instead of doing like one big golden piece, maybe do the front, like the Eagle's gonna be gold, but then like the chassis and all that stuff will probably be purple, or maybe like a different color.
Okay, change it up.
Kind of change it up a bit.
I like it. Speaking about purple, I've been working on Tony's Harlequin armies. Finally, I'm starting to get that. I gave the troops so that John can fix up the troops and make sure he has a few troop masters for HQs. But I've been painting up the Skyweavers, which are the little jet bikes that they have.
Saw the checker pattern.
Yeah, so I have the checker pattern. I've
came out really nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
I think it's Fallout Hobbies. They have some vinyl stencils for airbrushing. Mm-hmm. Perfect. I highly recommend them. They have all types. That they are not paying me to say this, but go ahead and check them out. They are really, really good things if you're looking for just stencils, because you can just stick them on and you can just put your brush to them and just do that if you want, if you don't have an airbrush specifically. But other than that, I've been working on, like I said, my Talon Master. He's going to be popping a wheelie up. I've been working on the bases for those guys because my biggest thing is that I was sick and tired of just seeing my armies just on the regular round bases when I already had quite a few that were based the way I wanted to, with a cork board as like the ruins that fallen down and the mud and a little bit of grass tufts that here there. So I've been plucking away at other things so I can make sure that I get all that done for myself, along with the Harlequins that I've been looking for. I'm still a little intimidated with the Harlequins, even though I have they have a stencil specifically for infantry, for the diamond pattern, for the pants. Ooh. To do that by hand, there's people that are way better than me at painting that can do that, and I applaud each and every one of you that can do that. I cannot. I need a stencil, and I can do it with that. I'm gonna do it like that for right now, but I'm still a little intimidated having it wrap around the leg and getting it like that. But I'm eventually gonna have to do it, and I'm confident in my abilities that it'll at least come out decent. Like the little jet bikes. I have to get some of the sprues once you're done, because the Void Weavers that we have don't have the where the gun actually mounts on. Like, it's just a little piece. For some reason it's not on there already, so I just have to clip it off and put it on there. So there's just a few more little assembly things that I have to do for the Void Weavers, because they wanted Tony wants the heavy support rather than the transport. So yeah, just plugging away on that, and that's pretty much hobby progress besides putting together some Seraphon. But I think that about wraps it up for episode 13. And again, thank you for listening to Perils of the Warp. And close us out, Mark.
Bye.
Didn't we come up with something?
Oh, you know what? Not so fucking fast.
Right.
Oh, people.
Oh,
we got.
Once you thought this shit show was about to come a closing.
Yeah, then I fucked up. Anyways, on our last episode, we had a few comments on YouTube. And again, if you want to join the conversation, go ahead. If you're listening to this on YouTube, go ahead and put some comments below, good or bad, what we can improve on. Anything, just comment. And if you want to contact us through old man ways, go to email and go to citypod88@gmail.com. And in the title, go ahead and put 40K or something to that effect.
citypod88@gmail.com.
Thank you, Mark. And our comments are from Trent Heckenberry.
Ooh.
handsome.
Yeah, so Mr. Handsome himself has said, Gorgon! The Gorgon is Ferris Manus. Get your lore straight. Chump. Chumpa, I guess he says. His second one is, I don't have a problem, bruh. I think you do. Your problem is that you work when we're supposed to be recording this. Trent, where are you, bruh? Anyways, if you want to join the conversation, go into those ways that I said before. And yeah, we did have a sign off, but I don't remember what it was.
Was it "See you in the warp"?
Was it?
I don't know.
See you in the grim dark future.
I said it randomly.
Yeah, you said it. It was a throwaway line. I was like, I like that, and then I never fucking
We forgot.
We'll figure it out next time.
See ya later, dudes.